was decent.
All right, isBullets, stage is yours. Let me just unmute you, and you should be good to go. isBullets,
How's it?
stage is yours. Let me just unmute. You should be good to go.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right, everyone, welcome to Yono and the Celestial Elephants. We'll just get going in 3, 2, 1, go. And by go, I mean press one more button and then go. So this is Yono and Celestial Elephants, which is one of the sort of pet project games that I've really enjoyed putting time into for it's years now at this point, but I actually discovered this game through another marathon as well. But this game is kind of an isometric 3D puzzled game, but it becomes more of like a platformer game as you go on and do the speed run. So Yono is an elephant from space, but does not like talking with people, as you can tell by the fact that we've been trying to avoid all these different conversations by doing these weird things. As I've been talking, we've been going through the tutorial, and we've done like 3 or 4 different skips to avoid talking with one of the main characters and to zoom around. If you don't see wild animal racing, oh, that'd be fun to do. Be good times. I mean, this is a wild animal that is racing through this game. It's close enough. Close enough game. But yeah, it's the tutorial in about a minute, probably. I'll say like a minute and like 3 seconds. I don't know. I don't know how much it is. I can't see the timer. I don't have a timer going. I have to just guess. This is Windhill. You're supposed to splash a monk over here with some water. And then they take a while to wake up, and it's kind of slow. So you can use this chicken to boost up here, and there's an invisible wall in front of you. And you can dash right before you fall off the edge. You have like just a little bit of time to dash right before you fall off, and it puts you on the loading zone, so you don't have to watch the little cutscene. So you just use the water to put the fire out, but you can kind of walk along the edge there. But yeah, so now we just wait on these spike cycles. You can't go around them because they'll just boop you into the water, which we don't want. We have all these lovely red snakes here, and if you... Oops, that wasn't supposed to happen, that's all right. You can position these snakes so that they both come at you at the same time, and for some reason, Yono has a hitbox behind them as well as in front of them. So you can kind of position the snakes on either side of you so you can hit 2 at once. Otherwise, it's just hitting the snakes and hoping things go right. So this room... So before we just took a key and then we used that pot to kind of skip part of it. So you're supposed to have used that key that we had earlier. So we actually have kind of sequence broke the game a little bit. So we could just leave the room right now. Like we're done with the... Like we've opened the room, we can leave. But what we want to do is miss the pinwheel, and then after we miss the pinwheel once, which is obviously for a little bit of RNG manipulation, we're going to go push this block over here. We're going to grab the key from this room, because then we'll have sequence broken a key out from the order you're supposed to have them in. So now we can start using the key to do some wacky stuff. Oh, we just barely got on the platform actually right there. You can usually move during that cutscene if you dash at just the right time. We had a little bit of a issue there where we couldn't, so we had to kind of book it there. Then right as the loading zone comes in there, you can do a little bit of a dash. Usually dashing is about the same speed as walking normally, but for some reason when the area loads in, there's a small amount of time that you can do a dash during that doesn't have the little slowdown during it. I'll show it a little bit later, but when you usually dash, it kind of slows down like that. But when you dash right as you enter a room, it doesn't do that. So it's like a really small optimization. There's a couple rooms where it's really important to do those little double dashes that I'm doing, but for the most part, you can kind of avoid doing it. So we're gonna bring this key with us. That key doesn't spawn there until you leave the room. Usually the key spawns on top of that rock, but because we brought a key with us on it, there's some weirdness with the game where if you bring a key with you, it just doesn't spawn any other keys that are supposed to be in the room, because in the normal play of the game, you're not supposed to ever have 2 keys in a room like that. We got hit there, which is actually not good. We really need some health. Thank you, appreciate that. That pot does not have a guaranteed chance of having health. It actually has a pretty low chance of having health. And your health is really important for this part of the run, and then after that, it's not super important. So we're gonna go to Nightingale City, which is the big main city hub of the game. It's actually where you end the game as well, which will become important like 10 minutes from now. So just remember the fact that we'll be coming back here later. For some reason, these staircases are slow unless you wiggle around or you go diagonally. You go faster. It's just one of the small little things with Yono that makes it very charming. So we're just going to go to this completely random room. We're supposed to talk with the queen right now, but we're just going to make a save here. Unfortunately, this game only has one manual save, so we can't make any safety save for the rest of the run at this point. The queen's over there. We're just going to ignore her. These guards are supposed to block you from going and not talking to the queen, but you can kind of do a little setup here and just bounce off their head and leave. So we skip talking with her, which will definitely not come back to bite us later on. We do get to do our second chicken skip in this entire run, which is sad because it's the second and second of 2 runs that we have to do. Also, these NPCs move in completely random directions, so they're actually in the worst position possible because they're blocking me from throwing this chicken here. So you're supposed to talk with her and do some stuff for her, but instead you can use the chicken to get around. Yeah, it's something weird like that with the stairs. You're supposed to press a lever to drop that, but you can do that dash is actually a lot harder than it looks across that edge. If you mess it up once, you usually mess it up like 3 times. So the game makes the mistake of giving us a key again. And as you guys saw before, once we get a key in this game, we can kind of do some wacky stuff. Because keys act like ramps almost in this game. They're basically triangles that you can walk up. We're actually not going to use this one for too long. The puzzle that you normally do in this room takes a while. So instead of doing the puzzle, we're just going to go over here. Also, my health reverted itself back to how it was before, so I have a lot less health than I'm supposed to have right now. That's really weird. So that could be bad, but it's all right. If it happens, it happens. Some dodges here. We're actually going to wait here because my health is very low. So this is probably the lowest my health has been ever trying to do this part. Let me see if there's any health in here. Of course there's not. Unfortunate. Ooh, actually, we're going to do it. Okay, so if you dash it just the right time and also get a little lucky, you don't take damage from that thing shooting you. And the timing's really awkward, and usually you lose 3 hearts going down that corridor, and you only have 4. You can collect more hearts during the run, or not during the run, during the game. But unfortunately, that's slow. We don't want to do that. It takes a little bit. You have to turn them in for hearts. Oh, this is a great skip. So you're supposed to fill this bucket with water, but what you can do instead is you can wiggle your head inside of it, and since you can't take water out of it once you filled it with water, it just checks once to see if there's something inside of it. And after it does that, it never checks again, so there's just a floating bucket over there with nothing in it, powering the pressure plate. It's good times. So we're just gonna let that guy die. Rest in peace. The Rob Goblin that's over there. This is why our health is important, because we have to do this one fight here. This is the only... Actually, this isn't the only fight we have to do. This is one of the few fights we have to do. So, I'll play a little bit safe. But our health is fine now. We're just going to push this thing down here. We're going to avoid doing the puzzle by going onto this half slab and pressing the switch out of order. You're supposed to press that switch, which raises that... I don't know why I'm pointing like you guys can see. You're supposed to press some switches and then do some things. I have no clue what just happened there, but, whatever. Perfect. That is exactly what I wanted to do. Half hearts. Perfect. I'm actually grabbing some health. Why not? It's right there. I dashed in a really awkward direction. So this guy, we're not going to stop him. We're not going to, blow him away or hit him or anything. We're just going to let him swing and miss a bunch of times and use the skull and just leave. You're supposed to collect, 2 keys for that. I actually don't know what those keys are. I've never actually collected those keys. So this is Sunder Garden. There's a crypt section during this. There's a lot of really cool light puzzles that you get to do. There's a boss at the end of it that is kind of weird, kind of like skeleton sort of thing. There's lots of cool stuff in it. There's also a skull in this level, which was a mistake, so we can just leave. So there goes Sunder Garden. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. This is Acorn Wood. Acorn Wood is kind of weird because it's kind of like a transitional level where you're going from here to the robot area, the robot hub, and then from the robot hub you come back through Acorn Woods to get to the Woolly Mountains. Also, we can just do this. But like we've learned before, when you give Yono a key, Yono gets to do whatever Yono wants. And we can come over to this gate that's supposed to only open once you beat the robot area, and we can just use the key to get over there. There we go. So now we've skipped a couple levels because of that. So for the benefit of the marathon, for charity, we are not going to kill any snowmen, which means I get to do this skip, which is dash into this bush. The bush. Okay, the bush is made of metal for some reason. Someone replaced it when I wasn't looking. Perfect, easy, first try, good stuff. So we're actually, yeah, we don't have to kill any snowmen. It's gonna be great. Instead of melting the snowman, we're gonna melt this ice cube, which does not count, so we're fine. This is one of the health collectibles inside of this, actually. This is the only one we collect, I think? Yeah, this is the only one we collect just because it's in the way. It's just there. Right as the block is melting, I think you kind of use it as a step. So it gets you up because of that. Exactly. Good stuff. So you're supposed to, in this level, push the block into that hole that's over there. But assuming my depth perception works for a few seconds, good. You can parkour your way up here and grab this. Unfortunately, I was never taught how to use keys correctly, so we're actually just going to throw the key over here instead of putting it in the keyhole. And we're just going to grab it through the wall because, you know. So we have one more snowman. Well, there's a big snowman, but we're going to avoid him as well. But yeah, it's easy. Legitimately, actually, first try. Cool. Don't even have to meme about it. We're going to use that key we got and throw it up here and wiggle our way onto it. We're actually just going to leave the key because we have some even more creative ways to do skips here, so we don't even need the key anymore. We're going to let that guy try to hit us. We can just use the pot here like we did earlier and just go over around that gate and avoid killing that guy. We're actually going to try to one-up that skip in a second right here, which is we're just going to walk towards here and then just go up. Just go up. Yono can jump. No one ever told him that he couldn't, so we're just going to do that. You have to be careful not to walk forward too early or you just get squished in the elevator, which is hilarious, but not what we want to do. The skip's really hard. We just got it first try, so it can't be that hard. It's easy. You just dash off the edge right as you fall. So as you fall, you have to dash at the right time and also like twist your analog stick to dash and like move your direction towards the bridge actually. So this is the queen. Like I said before, she's not happy that we like ignored her and didn't have a meeting with her, so she's actually gonna take us to prison because where else would we go? Yono is now a prisoner of the kingdom and a criminal and all that, but unfortunately their cells are not very secure, so we can just get out of them with some peanuts. Yeah, this story did not go the way anyone thought it was gonna go. The nice thing though is the guards, when you defeat them, they actually don't die, they just like sleep. So we can actually use their sleeping bodies to platform and do some wacky stuff with the key. So we can just get on the out-of-bounds theme and just leave. Sometimes that room will freeze on me and I have to redo this area, but it didn't, so it's great. Marathon luck coming around. So we do actually have to beat all these guys because whoop. There we go, perfect. Void elephant. Oh, if you want to see a void elephant, be ready in a second, it's gonna be great. So like before, there's supposed to be a key over there, but it's not in there because we have a key with us. So we're gonna come back and get that in a second. So we'll just put the key in here. I'm gonna go out of here, and we're gonna come back, and we're gonna do a dash. Oh, that was not a very good dash. That's very sad. That's a really cool dash if you do it right. So we're gonna bring the key with us. So this room is pretty normal, because we're just gonna do the puzzle the way we're supposed to. Also, if you hit the enemies too quickly when they spawn in, their animation breaks, so they just start ice skating around everywhere. So he's just has no walking animation. His walking animation is skiing, I guess. Unfortunately, he did not get stuck on there, which means he might block this peanut shot right here. He did not. I did a great job of moving in a straight line and doing nothing differently. All right, so this is the void skip thing that is very confusing and hard to explain, but basically the reason we threw the key there is when you enter the void, any items you have on your back just disappear, and we kind of want to keep that key. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk into this corner, we're going to hold up, we're going to press some buttons, we're going to launch into the air a whole bunch of times, and then we're just going to go to the exit and leave. That's basically it. Hey. We're also going to knock this guy out of the way because he's kind of annoying. And now we have the key with us as well because we threw it across the gate before we started. Cool. And we get to keep the key with us, and then key lets us do... We knew there was a skip in that corner before for the longest time. But we didn't have a consistent setup, and I'm just like, why don't we just press some random buttons? So I pressed lock on and then interact in a sequence, and it worked for some reason. I don't know. But someone had accidentally done that before. I think someone playing casually actually did that. They just walked into the corner and pressed some buttons and it worked. But they didn't know what they did. Also, while I was saying that, we just used somebody's body to boost up there. But yeah, so we are over here. We actually have to use the key now, because when you walk through this door, even if you have a key in your back, the key goes away, so you can't bring a key in from another area, which is kind of sad. We're going to try to do a different skip here, which I have not done in my PB. So, like, I mean, obviously do it for a marathon. Why not? It's easy. All you do is you just rotate this direction, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. What a great skip. Oh, it kind of worked there. You kind of see what's happening. We're going upwards, but not upwards enough. It's great. Okay, let's try it again. What could possibly go wrong? I have to make sure also not to press the pressure plate while I'm doing this, because if I do, then it... it's easy. You just go barely over the gate. You have just enough momentum to go over it. I have to do this, which is, it decides which direction you want to go. There's a way to do it consistently, but it's weird. But you can just keep spamming dash into it, and it works eventually. This guy doesn't want to hurt us because he's seen like all the other things we've done to all the other guards, so he's just like, no, I'm not fighting this elephant. This elephant is a criminal. I'm just gonna let him go. So we've got this skip. This skip is the one skip you have to use your keyboard for because it's really ridiculously precise. I don't think I need to explain what it is because it'll be very obvious when I do it. I think that's enough. Okay, that kind of worked. Perfect. Cool. Easy. So that puzzle takes like a minute normally, but instead we just launch ourselves over the gate. All right, so I can't even explain that skip we just did where we pushed a box through the gate because I have to explain the next one. So you guys remember that save we made like 10 minutes ago? The save is actually important now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do this boss fight here, and as we go into the boss fight, we are going to load the save we made, which is gonna spawn this random dude we've never talked to before, which we were supposed to talk to earlier, and then we're gonna talk with him. And actually, what we did is the game puts our progress forward as having completed the boss, because once you start the boss cutscene, the only way to get out of there is to kill the boss. So it just assumes that at that point, might as well set your progress forward because that's the only way to leave. But then we load warp to the area you go to after the boss fight, and then the NPC spawns that you have to talk to after the boss fight. That spawns this portal to the end of the game. It's simple. It's easy. Easy stuff. So yeah, we're going to the end of the game now. We are almost there. We have one more skip to do. It's not even a skip. It's a trick. It saves no time, but it's hilarious. So you're not supposed to be able to move during this, but if you dash into it, you can. And what you can do is you can start this cutscene twice. I almost fell off. That would have been funny. And what happens, instead of Yono floating to the center of the screen, Yono just floats off the screen and just leaves. So yeah. Time is about to happen in just a second here. As soon as all the dialogue disappears, I will say time. And time. And Yono fell through down to the ground as well. Yeah, that's Yono and Celestial Elephants. It's a jam-packed, like, 19 minutes of craziness. 1814, great. All right, cool. So after this, I'll be doing Hospital in just a little bit. So stick around, keep supporting the marathon, keep being cool human beings. I will see y'all soon.